right, guys. Hope you have an amazing Tuesday. This is all about Wednesday. This is all about sharing when it comes to what's the one thing that you can do in your life. It's the one biggest transformational thing that I have talked about before. If you listen to my podcast, I've dived into that. But it's this one principle that you can do. And I'll share a quick story before I dive in. It's going to relate to the whole thing. And that is Steve Harvey had an opportunity where he was talking with Oprah. And in their discussion, Oprah found out that Steve Harvey had a vision board. And she's like, do you have a vision board? He goes, where did you learn this and that? And all these things. And he's like, all of the most successful people that I know all have vision boards. They all have vision boards. Now, I'm not saying to go out and create a vision board. That's not the purpose of what I'm sharing here. The principle is this. You have to have a vision when it comes to your life. Now, if you own a business or if you're a chiropractor, what's your vision of why you have a business? What's your vision of with your purpose in life? What's your vision when it comes to your own soul's purpose, right? These are all principal things that you have to define, and there's ways to do that. Because when you can go ahead and you can literally create a vision, it starts to create a path of opportunity. Because if you can imagine it, you're going to create it. It's just how it works. So if you can imagine what it is that you want to create for your life, that means you can make it a reality. It's as simple as that. So what is your vision? Can you write out 300 things that you want to achieve and have and experience in your life? Most people can't. Most people cannot write 300 things that they want to experience in their life. That's called a lack of clarity. So if you don't have a vision, or if you say, I do have a vision, most of the time when I work with people and they say they have a vision, they have a vision, but it's with lack of clarity. It's not crystal clear. It's not concise. That's another principle to this. But the biggest thing to create your life is you have to have a vision. What does it look like? What do you want to experience? What do you want it to see it to be? These are all things that will help you start to map out and dictate what you want to experience in the world. It's that simple. This is such a simple principle. Of course, there's ways to do it and a whole construct behind it, but it's such a simple principle. This is the one big thing I work on with clients right off the bat to make sure that we make the shift, make the change so that we can set the vision, because then we make it as possible as we can to do that. Max, I love that question, man. What can the mind can perceive, the mind can achieve? Yes, exactly. It's how you have to see. That's a whole nother principle, because what you can see is what you're going to create. And so if you guys are liking this content so far, please put likes, comments, hearts, loves, all that in there. So I know that this is resonating. And it's one of those things where, it's if you don't set the page, and it's kind of like this, you're the author of your life, right? And so if you are setting a vision, you are writing to what you want to experience. You are a creator, okay? And so if you don't set the tone and do the work on vision work, then all of a sudden you're just living life hoping that you get there. It's like setting a GPS and it just shows you from point A to point B, but it doesn't tell you the map to get there. And you're just like, I'm going to go in this direction and hopefully I end up where I want to be. Now, for some, that's okay. Some people are okay with that. They want that. For others, no, you want to succeed. You want to go beyond the limits of what life can take you, and you want to go as far as you possibly can. This is when you got to have a crystal clear vision. I'm not saying you have to know everything in between. That's the beautiful thing about the vision. The vision, you don't have to figure every little detail out of how you're going to get there. I have visions that if you look at where my life is now and where I want to go, they are in polar opposite realities. But you know what, though, what's interesting is that 10 years ago, where I'm at now, compared to where I was 10 years ago, we're polar opposite realities. But I've achieved all that I wanted to do. Where I'm at in my life now is all because I had a vision way back then. And I just show up every day, keeping my eye focused on that vision. Now, I'm not going to tell you that's all about vision. There's principles and there's things of how to do things, the process behind it, the neurology behind it, understanding the science behind things, the continuing of all that. There's this whole thing behind that. But today, I just wanted to share with you the power of utilizing and having a vision. You start with your main life first. What's your purpose of why you exist in this world? And then you connect everything from there. And when you have that alignment, that's how you make your life easier. I'm not saying things are going to be easy, but it's just easier to manifest. It's easier to attract. It's easier to experience the reality of what you're seeking. And the more you can get out of your way, the more you'll experience that vision even faster. And if this is something that you want to create, you want to live an audacious life to where you can create what you want. I'm not saying to have the most material wealth in the world, but if that's your dream, that's your vision, but it's just creating your vision and living your truth every single day so that you can achieve and expel and expand to the levels where you want to get to. DM me then vision, and let's have a conversation to make that a reality for you. I greatly appreciate you guys as always. Have an amazing Wednesday.